Hello, and welcome to the Three Stitches podcast. I put the mouse down gingerly because if not, yikes, I lose the podcast. This is episode 159, and I am your host today, Knit a Little here. Catherine and Lindsay are back at school, so they're doing what they need to do, and I'm missing them like crazy. So I'm glad to spend some time with you to get my mind off of it. And it's nice to knit with friends. So they're off at school. They're doing what they need to do. And I am at home being mom. I have the other kids to keep my mind off of things once they get back from school. But all the littlies are in school. Justin is, he's in school and he's doing well. I walk him to school and pick him up every day. And Rachel, we have agreed that I will walk her halfway and I will pick her up at the halfway point. It seems that it is not cool to have mom walk you to school. And I agreed to it. I really did. I agreed to it. And she came to me without being a hormoning teenager, and I take her point well in hand. They are adjusting to a very different lifestyle. We are in a different part of Texas, so it's not the desert anymore. We are in a very humid part of Texas. Oh, trust me, when you go outside, wow, the wall of wet hits you. Oh my goodness. So it's going to take some time to get used to it. We're just going to do it. I am walking a mile plus every day. We are in walking distance of 2 of the 3 schools, so that's good. Good for them. It is, in the long run, it's good for me, but I have to tell you, it is an adjustment period. My sneakers are getting a workout, and I'm not quite used to that. I mean, when we were back in El Paso, I knew the ins and outs, and I knew what to do, when to do it, and now it's like I'm the new kid, and it's like, wow, it's hard. It's a whole new system. Justin's adjusting to it. He's only snickered at me twice, going, "We don't do it that way here, Mommy." It's like, well, this mummy, it has got an adjustment period. But he's doing good. Ian's doing good. Lindsay, he has not missed the bus yet. I am proud of him because I don't want to drive him, and if he misses the bus, Dad has to drive him. Because there's no way I am dealing with that traffic at the high school. No way, forget it, not gonna happen.com. So that's going on. I am podcasting from the girls' bedroom. Yeah, and there's a window right here that if anybody drives by, they're gonna think I'm nuts because I think I'm gonna be talking to myself. But hey, I felt most comfortable podcasting in this room because, yeah, this is where girls are. And the kitchen, the cats are going bananas in there right now. Yeah. They have decided that it is their room and Mom should leave. Well, it's where they're safe from the dog. So there you go. The dog is now passed out. He has stopped howling. He has stopped barking at geckos for the most part. He has stopped waiting by the front door. He's not quite back onto eating, but I think he will be eating better today. He just goes, we put his food down and he gives us a harumph and he goes into the girls' bedroom and he looks at their bed like, no, don't want to. But he's done this before. He's a baby and he misses his kids. When the 3 littlies go off in the middle of the day, the morning, and they don't come home till the middle of the day, he's a basket case. I am surprised he's not here with this great big old head in my lap going like, "Make it stop, Mom." I can't. We all do have to do what we have to do. There is a bar right where the time is. I really don't want to go over 30 minutes because there's going to be 3 podcasts a week. You didn't see Catherine's Monday. We agreed. She was going to have a hectic time of it, so let's take the stress off of a podcast because this is supposed to be fun. And I don't want to make it where you have to do this. You know, they have enough stress in their life. But you'll see Wednesday. You'll see Lindsay Friday. Yeah. So that's that. It's beautiful out there right now, but I know it is muggy and hot. I hope I'm not too washed out, but I think I will be podcasting from this room from here on out. The kitchen just didn't feel comfortable. Here it feels comfortable. We should be comfortable when we podcast. And if I'm going to knit with friends, it should be comfortable. The trip there and back, we took Lindsay to University of Houston, and Catherine tagged along and flew out. I worked better than I thought it was going to. I was really happy with how smooth it went. And Lindsay and John didn't get lost. Yes. Because if it was me driving, yeah, I'd still be there. I didn't get a thing knit. I took my knitting. I took 2 projects. Not one single stitch. Not one. Hang my head in shame. But I enjoyed the time, so it's not a loss. Not a complete loss. It would have been better if I knit, but I didn't. It's my fault. But I have been knitting. It's not, I mean, it's been since Friday that I last talked to you, so I haven't gotten a lot done, so don't expect gangbusters. Don't expect gangbusters. But I've knit a bit. Well, let me see. I don't know if all of you know about Click for Babies, but Jet Girl, Knitting on the Fly, is, you know, she does Click for Babies purple hats. Well, I heard that she didn't have any preemie hats, and they wanted preemie hats in purple. So I whipped these out. I knit up 6, and there's more to come. With these 6, I have 30 hats to go to Katie. They're going to a good cause, so I have knitting stashed in my purse at all times. And it's purple. I don't know how many hats I'm going to do. I hope to get maybe 10 more. I don't know. It's such a good cause that I want to give it a good amount of support. You know, babies need to be supported. And what better than knitters, eh? So I got these done. I have Lindsay, yes, I know. They're not woven in yet. When I get all that I'm going to get done, I'm going to weave in all of the ends, and I'm going to send them off to Katie. I don't know when the contest is going to end. With moving and everything, I am really behind the 8 ball. I am finally getting my podcasts back, so I will be better informed, but I can only usually see about 2 podcasts a day. That's all I have time for. So I'm thinking 5 days a week, 2 podcasts a day, and whatever I can squeeze in on Saturday and Sunday. I'll get back there. I promise I will. It's just going to take me a little time. It's not that I'm ignoring people, just have had a little bit on my plate. You know how that goes. So those are my finished objects. What's on my needles? Well, I have knit on the Girasol or however you want to say it by Jared Flood on my size 8 knitting needles, which is 5mm metric. Okay. That's a pretty good likeness of the color. And seeing that it's a pie, well, guess what? This is the best it's going to get. When I left you, I was there. I have knit all of this. And I love it. I love it. It is super soft. I love that when Jared Flood did the pattern, he had a size for a shawl and a size for a blanket. Guess which size I'm doing? I know you'll never guess, will you? Yes, a blanket. Well, this blanket, I think, if you can get it away from the cats, it's going to probably be one of the favorites in the house because it is soft and yummy. I am knitting it out of Patton's lace. And what colorway? Oh, I'm glad you asked. It is in the Arctic Plum. That is a good lightness. What I am seeing is a good lightness. So I hope you're seeing the same that I am. Very light, soft purple. So we'll put that over there. Someone just drove by. I hope they didn't see me talking to myself. And they don't know that I'm talking to you. I started a new project. Okay, I knew I was going to start this project as soon as Lindsay got to school because we had discussed it. Okay, she has the same exact yarn but in blue. And you'll probably be able to see her label because you can't see my label. We discussed starting the Vortex in this very thin yarn that both she and I have. We were both struggling, and I mean struggling for what we were going to do with this yarn. And that's a stretch for me because normally I have 25 projects for any yarn, and we couldn't find it. I stumbled on the Vortex, and I thought I can just knit and knit and knit until I run out of yarn. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's it. Lindsay liked it too, so we discussed when she went back to school that she and I were going to have a mini knitting along of the Vortex. I am not going to have this finished by the time she gets out of school at the end of the year, okay? Because I have over 1,000 yards to knit, and I'm on knitting on size 3 needles, which is 3.25 millimeter. No, I'm not. But if I'm in the car, I can knit this. If my brains are falling out and I'm watching TV, well, knitting while TV's on, I don't watch TV. I can knit this. This is going to be my, I don't have brains for a pattern knit. So, enough to say about that. This is the Vortex. I have heavily modified this, okay? So if you're going to look at this, this is not what the pattern has. I modified it to suit what I wanted. This is the Vortex. I'm going to bring it a little closer. Okay, this is a very, very delicate, very thin lace weight yarn. And, well, that's a good Vortex. And when I had started it before Lindsay left, so we knew what it was going to look like in the lace, and we liked it. And then when I put it down, I lost stitches. So I agreed. Pull it out when Lindsay went to school. I would start it again, which I have. I started this Tuesday. So there's the Vortex. It's very, very thin, and if I put it in any normal knitting bag, I was going to have a ton of problems, and that's the one thing I wanted to avoid, was ton of problems. So I put it in a Starbucks, and it matches, and this is not the way I planned it, but I put the yarn in a Starbucks. Now, right now, I have a lot wrapped around it from the first knit, so it's not going to work out as well as I want until I get this off, but it's a center pull. So all I have to do is put everything down if I don't twist it. Okay, so once it's a center pull, all I have to do is pull it out of there. And then when I put it in my knitting bag, I won't be making any burrs. I won't get any knots. It won't halo before I knit it. And that's what I kind of wanted to avoid. But this is getting a lot of strange looks because I'm knitting and I have Starbucks next to me and they're like, she's knitting with what she's drinking? And then when people look, it's like, oh, it's yarn. Yeah, it's yarn. But I like this for recycling too. I mean, I didn't have to throw this away. I didn't have to put this in a landfill. I am using it. And I'm going to use it for quite some time because there's over 1,000 yards. Lindsay will tell you how many yards. There's a lot. I will be knitting this for a long, long time. But it will keep it safe. I like that idea. So that's what I have on my needles. What's future on my needles? Oh, well, I was gifted a shawl by Marlisha from the Three Stitches Pen, Hook, and Needle podcast. Sorry, ladies, I'm sleep deprived. She gifted me the Hug Me shawl, and I would tell you the designer, but it's in my brain somewhere and it's not coming out. But as I start it, you'll know because I'll have it on my Kindle and I'll show you. It's the Hug Me shawl, and I plan on when I'm really missing the girls of picking up the shawl and knitting. I think I'll get a lot done because I miss them. Thank you, Marlisha. It really came at a really good time because I was feeling really down. But um, it's getting better. It's getting, as it always does. You know, you have to, you kind of have to give life a little time so you can adjust. Because if you don't adjust, what's the alternative? I'm going to miss the girls. I'll be sad the day that I don't miss the girls, which I don't think ever will come. But how many days till Christmas? So when they're back, we'll podcast together. Future plans. I am going to cast on the Hug Me shawl. I think I have the right wool in mind, but until I get 5 minutes to myself, I won't be able to find it. But I will cast that on probably before you see the next podcast. Secondly, Rachel came home and she goes, "Mama, you'll never guess." Now, in my house, when a child goes, "You'll never guess," it's not good news. But this time it was. I said, "You know what, honey?" She goes, "One of my teachers is going to have a baby." I said, "Oh, really?" Now, I had seen the teacher, but I didn't think Rachel had the teacher. And she's like, "Yeah." And I thought, "Oh, well, when you find out, girl or boy, let me know. Maybe we can knit something for her." Now, if I'd known this lady for a while, I would do a sweater. But I don't even know this lady. And she goes, "Okay." So she came home yesterday. She goes, "Girl, it's a girl. She's going to have a girl." And I'm like, "Oh, great. How about a bonnet?" Now, there is a bonnet pattern that I'm going to knit up. I don't know if I have the yarn. I will probably have to go buy yarn because I'm not going to do wool for, a baby. I'll do acrylic. Don't know if I have it, but expect it on the needles because Rachel won't leave me alone until I cast it on. So it'll be good. I'll have my little sidekick next to me. And then Justin got to be outdone last night. Came home and we were walking home and he goes, "Mom, guess what?" I'm like, "What?" "No, you'll never guess, Mommy. You got a teacher who's going to have a baby." "Yeah, I do. I have a teacher who's going to have a baby." And I was like, "Oh, my gym teacher." And I said, "Well, does she look very, very pregnant, or is she just kind of, I couldn't even tell until she told me, Mommy." I'm going, I got some time to knit for this one. Rachel's teacher, yeah, she's due in 3 weeks, so I don't have a lot of time for this one. So she's getting a bonnet. And we'll see what Justin comes up with. I'll let you know what he picks out for his teacher, but he definitely was like, "We have to knit for this baby." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, not a problem." He goes, "I don't know. I'm thinking socks or a hat or a sweater. I'll tell you later." And off he runs, and I'm thinking like, I'm the one that's knitting this. Shouldn't I be able to pick what I knit? Probably not. He'll probably have something in his mind, and I'll have to knit it because that's the boy. And he's got such cute eyes. How can you say no? Okay, cross your fingers that I only have to use socks for this baby. Or a hat. I could do socks and a hat, couldn't I? And if he really likes a teacher, maybe instead of socks and a hat, maybe a sweater. I'll let you know when it comes time. But he's happy about it. So am I. Well, that is it for me. There's nothing more in my knitting bag. I showed you what I have on the needles. Yes, I just knit gangbusters since I last saw you Friday. You will see Lindsay on Friday and her new place, and Catherine on Monday. She should have everything under control by that time. I mean, the girls have it under control now. They are so good. I have a doggy behind the computer. You can't see him, but you're going to start hearing him bark because I think he sees something that he thinks is threatening. It is probably a piece of yarn, since this is the girls' room. Sedgwick, would you like to come over and say hi? Come here. Get your mind off the desk, Bunny. Come here. Yeah. Okay, you want to come up here and say hi? Sedgman. Up. No, he's not going to, but he's down here. And he's sitting very well. Okay. You gonna say goodbye? Your sisters are gonna watch the podcast. Sissies are gonna watch the podcast. You gonna say hi, goodbye? No. What I'll do is if you go to the Three Stitches blog, I am going to put a couple pictures of Sedgwick trying to help navigate Houston. I got some really good photos, so I'll put those up there if you want to see them. Why don't you go over there? Or if you're on Plurk, I was thinking of putting them on Plurk. Please don't knock that over. Yes, it's going to start barking until I pick up anything that looks like a bug. He's on bug patrol. Remember the gecko ladies? Told you. Okay, I'm going to have to let you go. I will see you next Wednesday, and I'll be podcasting from here. I think I'll have a co-host. Take care, and see you next Wednesday. Bye.